be able to come out here and bring these matches to the people. You know, it's a great pleasure for us to come out here with you and sponsorship with E&G Productions, Capital Sports Promotion. We got some great matches coming at the people, and I think they're really going to be surprised. They're going to be entertained. Is that fire match?
Well, talking about some of the big stars.
I tell you, it was a great night, that hot night in Bayamon, Hugo. You had Samoans there, Jimmy Valiant, Dangerous Dan Spivey, Wahoo McDaniel, plus all the local World Wrestling Council wrestlers, Carlos Colon, Hercules Ayala, us, Ricky Santana, Rufus Jones. I tell you, it was a great night.
And it was a hot night, and believe me, the main event features a fire match. Hercules Ayala against Carlos Colon, and I know all the wrestlers were out of the dressing room looking at it. It was one of the best nights in professional wrestling. It was a great place to be on that given night.
That's right, Hugo. You know, these people out there are going to get a chance to sit down in their homes and see a fire match, and I don't think they've ever seen anything quite like this, and I'm sure after it's over with, you'll never see anything like it again, because only the World Wrestling Council could bring you a match like this.
Well, some comments on the World Tag Team match with the New Zealand Sheepherders.
That's right. You know, that was a big test for us that night, that hot night in Bayamon. We got a chance to defend our belts against the New Zealand Sheepherders, the Los Pastores. And you know, brother, it was a tough match. Bart and I, we trained hard. We were ready for the match, and we're enjoying bringing it to you on this tape.
Well, not only that, great things are about to happen right here. We're going to take you immediately to our first match. It's getting hot, a hot night in Bayamon. Here we go, tag team action, hot Saturday night in Bayamon, and there he is, the Boogeyman, already doing his thing here.
I tell you, Hugo, you know, you got to really appreciate the Boogie Woogie Man as the individual that he is. Super nice individual, and I think the referee just found out he got a good night hello kiss from the Boogeyman himself, Jimmy Valiant. And how else can you start a hot night out in Bayamon with a kiss on the old lips?
Yeah, that's right, Barton. Never let it be said to Rufus R. Jones, who's a great friend of ours, would never hesitate to maybe plant one on your kiss or two just to show his appreciation.
Well, we're talking about a pair here, Rufus the King Jones and the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant.
Tell you what, Hugo, you know, what a combination to get two guys like the Boogie Woogie Man and the Freight Train himself together in a tag team match against probably one of the biggest, toughest teams in the sport of professional wrestling, and that's the Wild Samoans. You can look at the screen right there and tell what big guys they are.
Alpha and Zika, the legendary Wild Samoans, over 14 times World Tag Team Champions.
You know, Hugo, on paper, this is a really good match. It's a great match to be brought to the people right now because, you know, the Samoans are really unpredictable, and it takes a pair like Boogie Woogie and Rufus, because they're really unpredictable, to take on a pair of guys
and
like
here
this.
We go, some rope housing right now. The style of Rufus and Boogie Woogie Man stopping right from the beginning. The Wild Samoans, who usually attack their opponents, not this time.
I think they beat them to the punch, Hugo. You know, you got the shake and the bake and the rock and the roll and everything going right now, and it's all going against the Samoans, and I think they're a little bit surprised by the aggression shown right off the bat from Rufus and Boogie.
Rufus all over Zika while the Boogeyman was taking care of Alpha. They're booging down right now.
They sure are, Rufus, or Hugo. They are Rufus and Valiant. What a great team they are. I think years ago, maybe when they were up in the Charlotte area wrestling up there, I think they teamed together a couple of times.
Many times.
Yes, and they were a great tag team. So really, this is a reunion of sorts here on a hot night in Bayamon.
And it's the World Wrestling Council Superstars, the best wrestling.
I tell you what, Hugo, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Capital Sports Promotion and E&G Productions. That's Fast Eddie, buddy. Thanks a lot for giving us an opportunity to sit down and look at these matches and bring them to the people in their homes.
I'm the one that's happy. I usually got to deal with people that are always arguing, like Bobby Joggers or Chicky Star is always upset. This is a night off for me. I'm going to enjoy the matches, and I'm in good company because you guys are peaceful, nice, moderate, tremendous wrestlers, of course, but I'm not going to have a good time today.
Yeah, I tell you, we appreciate that, Hugo, and it's really a pleasure for us to be in your presence, too, because your reputation precedes itself, and it's an honor and a pleasure, and we're really looking forward to bringing these great matches to the people out there with you sitting right beside us.
And we could certainly verify that this is the World Wrestling Council Superstars, the best wrestling around the world, and now it's the Boogeyman and Alpha in the center of the ring. You could difference Alpha and Zika because Zika's got the lighter hair. Other than that, boy, we're talking about some crazy people. That's two of them right there.
And they look a lot alike, too, and I can appreciate that. I know my brother can, too, because we look an awful lot alike ourselves, so we can appreciate the little strategy or the little advantage that it gives you when you're a tag team.
Talking about strategy, did we just see kind of an illegal move by Jimmy?
It sure looked like it to me, Hugo, but obviously the damage
Fans
was
were not complaining either.
That's right, Hugo. You know, the fans down here can appreciate the strategy there, but the Boogie Woogie Man just trying to get on top of the Samoan right there.
I'll tell you, he just laid the other Samoan out right there on the apron, Brand. Went over and just cold-cocked him, but that's the Boogie style. He's taking care of business in the ring like he knows how to do.
Off in a lot of pain, and now the referee is trying to keep the action going here and wait till Rufus hits the ring. You think Jimmy is crazy. Whoa!
Whoa. I tell you, that those are two big heads going together right there, and it well knocked one Samoan off the apron there, Hugo. I mean, those are two big guys that just got their heads thrown together.
The boogeyman all over Alpha. Face first into the turnbuckle. Here comes Rufus.
Well, there's a meeting of two hard minds right there, Hugo. The Samoan's got a hard head, and everybody knows Rufus Jones' head's just as hard, if not harder.
Okay, Rufus doing his thing. The King. He is something else in the ring. A lot of movement, and he is all over Sika. Here comes Alpha, and he gets hit. Double shots.
I tell you what, Rufus there he is going at both these guys. You know, Rufus had a little amateur boxing background before he got into sport of professional wrestling, and right there, he's just doing his shake and bake routine. He's got pork chops, he's got spare ribs flying all over the place. He's the king of professional wrestling, no doubt about it.
Do you know that actually when he goes to the gym to lift weight, that's part of his routine when he's working out? You're right. Well, even when he's doing some jogging, he's doing that.
There's no question about that. His arms are always moving, and I hate to keep repeating myself, shaking and baking, because that's what I refer to it when Rufus is in there doing his thing.
You know, it looks like the Samoa's trying to beg off for a little mercy here, Hugo. I think he's had just about enough of Rufus for the time.
They have been hit hard, and we are talking about two top wrestlers in tag team competition, the Wild Samoans, undefeated for many years, and Rufus and Jimmy, like we pointed out, they teamed up many years around the NWA area, Charlotte, and they did great, defeated a lot of the top teams. Let's see what happens here in this hot Saturday night.
Well, there's Rufus Jones doing his little boogaloo right there, getting out of that side headlock held by the Samoans. And, of course, there's a Samoan complaining that he thinks Rufus Jones has some oily substance on his hair. And, of course, we all know that that's not true.
You're exactly right, Barry. The Samoa seems to be pressing his point. Wants the referee to go check his hair, but he's not getting any satisfaction there.
You know what, Hugo? I was just sitting here wondering, watching Rufus and the Samoans and Boogie Valiant, just how many years of wrestling experience do you think's in that ring right now?
A lot of years, and they held almost all prestigious titles in single competition.
That's right, and Samoans were world tag team champions at one time, I believe, up in the WWF.
There's Rufus Jones again, getting out of that side headlock over with the big high 10 to the Boogie Woogie Man. I tell you what, so far it's been all Boogie and the freight train.
A little bit of a conference here. The Wild Samoans in the corner. So far, they have not been able to stop the freight train and the Boogie Man. Well, and it's hot Saturday night.
There's an old Fast Eddie there, Hugo. I can pick that hat out of a crowd just about anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Where he is always trouble.
A lot of truth to be said about that. There's Samoan, looks like he's getting a little bit of advantage over Rufus there. Tell you, you can't. There's a hot shot here on a hot Saturday night. You can't sell the Samoans short, Hugo. They're
mean streak by Alpha all over Rufus, but he's fighting back.
All right, come on, Rufus. Come on, Rufus. See, Hugo. Rufus Joe. Oh, that was a big. Well, I don't know. It looked like another possible questionable blow there.
Yes,
I didn't really get
to be fair, the Boogeyman was the first man to use an illegal shot like that, and I think it's payback. And the fans do not appreciate it right now, and it's trouble for Rufus right here. Here we go.
Well, Rufus managed to duck out of that just a little bit, and we got the Samoans in there trying to do a little double team tactic there, and they have no, you've got to count of 5 to get out of a ring in a tag team match, or you should be disqualified. And I tell you, they pushed it to the limit that time. There's Freight Train with the big African suit bone to the jaw,
and he nailed the Samoan, but the tag is made here. And here comes Jimmy.
Man.
Whoa!
Oh, right there. The
Oh,
Boogie
yes.
Man in the ring, going crazy. He's got the Samoan going. He's seen Rufus Jones take enough punishment, and he's tired of the tactics of the Samoans, and he's getting to them right now, Ugo.
He is all over the Samoan here. Referee is counting here. Jimmy not listening to the referee.
Ugo, do you think the Samoan style's been a little, or the style of Rufus and Boogie Woogie is confused the Samoans a little bit here?
Very wild style of Jimmy and Rufus. I don't think the Samoans ever expected to find this kind of attitude from Rufus and the Boogeyman.
I'll tell you what, the Boogie Woogie Man can brawl with the best of them, Ugo. We've seen him go from pillar to post too many times. When he has to have something done, if he has to take care of something in the ring, in this case it's the Samoans, he does whatever he has to do it.
Okay, Rufus all over now on Sika.
He's looking out the people.
Wishbone here.
Looks, people really enjoyed that one.
We're
Ugo.
talking about a mean streak tonight here. Rufus, you know, something happens on anniversaries of the capital sports. We see a lot of strange things happening. And Rufus, a mean streak on him on Saturday night here.
Tell you, Samoan right there for karate thrust to the throat. Obviously, the referee didn't see that. I guarantee you that'll slow you down anytime. Here's the other Samoan coming in the ring, and they're getting a little double team action on the freight train, and Rufus needs to get a tag over there to Boogie.
Check those shots. Look at the punches coming in on Rufus.
Rufus is taking a lot of punishment right there. The referee's busy with Jimmy Valiant trying to get him back in the corner, and they're really getting some damage done.
And Rufus now suffering a lot of pain. And when the Samoans get going, not too many teams are able to stop them because they are mean and they don't get tired.
Well, you can just see the tactic right there, Ugo. You got the Samoan distracting the referee so his partner in the corner can do a damage. You know, when you get in a situation like this in a tag team match, it's 2 against 1, and there was a vicious blow once again from the Samoan, but Rufus can't go anywhere because you got one holding him and the other guy beating him.
Took all air out of the body of Rufus.
The Samoans are really starting to roll now, Ugo. Getting their double teaming in and breaking rules as only they can.
Big thumb to the throat right there. Rufus in a lot of trouble right now.
Rufus.
All right.
One good shot by Rufus. He stopped off out there for a little while. Now he's coming back.
There he goes, 20 leg. There's a tag to Jimmy Valiant. He needed that, Ugo.
Look out. Here comes the Boogeyman.
Boom.
Whoa. All over. The Samoan. Here comes the other one. Jimmy, it's all over.
Oh, he's taking
he might get the referee if he doesn't move out of the way.
Yeah, he's going crazy right now, the Boogie Woogie Man. Bam, there's 2 big Samoans. That's a big collision right there, and the Boogie Woogie Man is rocking and rolling
right now. Things are hot in Bayamon tonight.
Down goes Ava. He's
1,
up for the cover.
2. Oh, there's the other Samoan making a save. You got to give credit there, Ugo. You got to do that.
Look out. This is going to be trouble. 4 men in the ring. And the referee's not going to be able to control this one.
Oh, there's a big headbutt by the freight train, Rufus Jones. That's put down a lot of men. There he is once again going after Samoan.
Referee trying to push Rufus out, giving the advantage to the Samoans here.
It's hard to restore order in a match like this. Uh-oh, they got both.
Over the top.
That's a top rope right there.
Disqualification. Automatic rules in the World Wrestling Council. And desperation move on the part of the Wild Samoans, as they were overpowered from the beginning by the team of Jimmy, the Boogie Woogie Man, Valiant, and Rufus. The King Jones and the Wild Samoans are not happy about this. Nevertheless,
they're going wild.
The winners are Jimmy, the Boogie Woogie Man, and Rufus R. Jones, and the party has just begun. It is hot Saturday night in Bayamon. Let's take it on to the next match.
Our second match is really a battle that's going to really decide a conflict, probably one of the biggest, hottest rivalries going in the World Wrestling Council at this particular time for the Puerto Rican Heavyweight Championship. Ricky Santana against Mr. Pogo, and Ugo, these guys really went after it there for a while.
Oh, you know, that's right, Bart. It's like you say, they've been battling all over the island, and it came down to this night, anniversary, 1988, here in a hot night in Bayamon, to decide once and for all who was going to be the Puerto Rican Heavyweight Championship.
Well, Pogo's manager, El Profe, had claimed that Ricky Santana was not a worthy champion, and on the night of the anniversary 88 that there will be a new crowning of a new champion, and they have gone at it even before the referee was ready to do the check-in on both opponents.
Well, it's obvious, Hugo. Ricky Santana is incensed and was incensed by those comments made by El Profi saying he's not a worthy champion, and he's letting that Latin blood boil right now, and he's showing just exactly what he's made of. Look at him going recklessly after Mr. Pogo. He's not going to finish until he's got everything done that he wants to do to this guy.
He is all over Mr. Pogo.
I think Mr. Pogo was caught a little bit off guard, too. Hugo, there's Ricky going for a big body slam on Mr. Pogo. Ricky's just totally incensed at this stage of the game. He wants to damage Mr. Pogo. Oh, what a vicious move that was. Mr. Pogo doesn't know whether he's coming or going.
A lot of hate involved here, not only the prestige of the championship, but it's a personal feud between Santana and Pogo. And this is the night, the anniversary 88 hot Saturday night in Puerto Rico, and Ricky Santana wants to prove to all the fans here and all the fans that will be watching this all over the world who is the real champion of the Puerto Rican island.
Well, you know, right now Ricky Santana is trying to be held back a little bit by Ricky Vargas, the referee. He's having a hard time doing it because he wants Pogo bad, and I guarantee you Profi is not happy with this situation right now.
Okay, here Ricky must be careful at all times because of the expertise of Pogo in the martial arts and that ever deadly cobra.
And he just got him right there with a big vicious chop that came out of nowhere right to Santana's throat. It's like Mr. Pogo got a little bit of wise counseling on the outside of the ring there from El Profi, Hugo. I think that was a smart move.
How hard does Pogo hit? You've been in the ring with this man. You know that.
Tell you what, Hugo, we wrestled Mr. Pogo a lot of times all through our travels out in Kansas City, the Midwest, and then we came down here to Puerto Rico. We managed to beat him and Kendo Nagasaki to win the World Wrestling Council World Tag Team titles when we first came to this great island. But I tell you, his kicks are definitely the type of kicks that can do a lot of damage because he knows where to kick you and he knows how to kick you. And really, having to go out and wrestle this guy is not a fun time.
There's no mercy towards his opponents, I could tell you that much.
You know, that's just the way it is in the World Wrestling Council, Hugo. This is one of the toughest, and look at that, he threw him right there in the barricade around the people right there. Like I was saying, World Wrestling Council, you got to be at your best at all times because this is one of the toughest places in the world to try to get a championship and even just get out in the ring and wrestle.
Well, Pogo, for a few seconds, had the championship in his hands. Maybe he's a little bit overconfident here. This could be trouble for him because Santana is not a quitter, and like you said before, his Latin blood. And Pogo, okay, here we go. Santana.
He's turning tables on him again right here.
Hey, this is exactly what you have to do, Hugo, when you got a guy like Mr. Pogo, because he likes to take it outside the ring. He likes to try to do his damage outside the ring. And there, Ricky Santana just wrapped that leg around that turnbuckle post, and I guarantee you, it does the knee absolutely no good.
How does it feel when you are in the dressing room getting ready for this hot night in Bayamon? What was that? What was your experience on that given night?
Well, I tell you, Hugo, you know, to be a part of this great night was one of the biggest moments in our career. And as we'll see later on in the tape, we wrestled the sheep herders that night, and we were just.
Do wrestlers feel nervous prior to?
We were nervous.
A big confrontation like this.
Yeah, we were nervous. You're always going to be nervous when you go out there, and particularly that night for us. And here with Ricky against Pogo, it's for a championship. And you know that's on the line. There's a lot of money involved, a lot of prestige involved, and you just got to dig down in yourself and come up with what it takes. And in our case, for both of us, to go out there and do what you can do and win.
It comes around once a year, and it's called the Hot Night in Puerto Rico, this time in Bayamon, anniversary 1988. And it was a great night.
Tell you what, right now, Ricky Santana is just going to town on Mr. Pogo. He was pounding him with his fists, throwing the head into the turnbuckle, and there's a shot into the opposite turnbuckle. Pogo moved out of the way.
Chin first into the top turnbuckle.
I tell you, he didn't expect that at all, Hugo. Ricky Santana's in a lot of trouble right now. Look at Pogo. He's still a little weary after that beating he just took, but I guarantee he's got a lot of stamina, and now he sees his opportunity to really do some damage on Ricky, and I know Pogo well enough that he will take advantage of that.
Well, Ricky Santana taking a big gamble, and Pogo now, he misses a shot
right there.
Oh, beautiful move here.
Turn around, referee.
Oh, I think Profi, distracting the referee a little bit here, might have saved, well, could have had been 2 more seconds on that attempted pinfall by Santana. The champion in trouble, and Pogo, as the time progresses in the match, he tends to get meaner and meaner.
That's the advantage of having a manager out there on the outside of the ring, too. You were absolutely right. He really had him down for 3 seconds.
Oh,
the referee, he's really laid him in now. And the referee was distracted by the manager, and that's definitely an advantage.
Plus, he's always picking on racial comments, always insulting Santana's roots, and that has to kind of distract you when you hear a boss on the background insulting your people, your race. And Prophet would do that. He will do whatever he has to do to make one of his wrestlers win a match, especially this Puerto Rican heavyweight title match.
That's right. When everything's on the line, Hugo, you got to give a little credit where credit is due. I'm not going along with Profi's way of thinking whatsoever, but he has to do, there's a big spin kick, and I can guarantee you Ricky Santana is seeing stars right now because that spin kick is definitely in the jaw area, and I tell you, I can speak from experience. He chipped 4 of my teeth one time with that spin kick.
Wow. Well, a lot of new young wrestlers that are trying to make a name for themselves in the world of professional wrestling will have some tough times with Pug if they face him because...
And welcome back to the newest episode of the Iwar Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex G. With me this evening, we have Scott and we got Matt. What's going on tonight, gentlemen?
Battling a cold, apparently.
Apparently, everyone missed the sneeze because I had you muted.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Let's do it again.
Don't worry, I'm sure I'll sneeze again. Hey, here's Swanson. What's up, guys? Yeah, big show tonight. I have not looked at the question and answer yet, so I got that to pull out when you're ready.
Yeah.
But big cycle. 27s dropped, and it was like, we're 28s for the longest time. It was like a year and a half they hadn't dropped, and all of a sudden they finally did. 27s are kind of getting like, I think it was 18 or 19 cycles. It was getting up there, and I was like, and then Mike made a point on the workshop, why you should watch, where he said something to the effect of like, well, if 27 drops, but if you play all these different combos, they have a 1 or a 45 in it, you still have a really good chance to score high. And if you look at the league results, I haven't got the email or not, but if you didn't, let me know, I'll send it to you. You can see there's a lot of 500s, a lot of 499s, like one of those tough cycles where it's like, let me get it ready to read these things. But I guess the question right now is, everybody excited for WrestleMania?
I haven't watched a WrestleMania in probably it's been too long. I think.
Can I tell you my problem with WrestleMania in general, or pay-per-views in general?
Too long.
Yeah, last year my friend Nate came over to watch. We used to watch wrestling growing up. One of my earliest friends watching wrestling with, right? And this, I think it was the Saturday night show. Whatever night Cody was. I think it was Sunday night. I forget which one it was. But anyways, Cody was wrestling. And he had to work the next day. I think it was Sunday then. He had to work the next morning. But it was like, it was long. And then, like, it shouldn't be 5 hours, 6 hours. Like, dude, just give me like 2.5, 3 hours. We're good.
Agreed. like imagine being them. Like I've been them live. Like those are.
That's tough.
Brutal. They're brutal.
And you were in the stadium, right?
Yeah, I was at MetLife, which is literally the coldest place on earth. Because they have all that wind coming off the Hudson, and it's freezing.
Yeah.
It is freezing.
All right, I have trivia ready, but let's see. Any questions from the crowd yet? The crowd being us. And, of course, I always feel like we have our mole attending.
It's really just Johnny B.
It's Johnny B's the mole. He's like he made a deal with WWE corporate. He's like, all right, any good ideas, I'll send them over to you guys.
I can't get you guys' webcam to work. That sucks.
Oh, it's all right. You're not missing much.
Well, it's true.
Well, you're missing Scott's gray beard.
Looking handsome though. Looking pretty dapper and debonair today.
That's right. Oh,
I didn't get that to go. So, let's see.
Mute my page. All right, I can do the. I figure show-wise, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be our cycle review as we're always doing. Hopefully, can everyone hear Matt and Scott okay? Is I guess my first question.
That's the important thing.
I can hear Matt.
Okay.
I can hear Scott. And,
I mean, because I got bars, so
Yeah.
it's not like I don't have bars, so
Yeah.
it seems to be okay. If you guys were wondering what we were watching before on the pre-show, it was a hot night in Bayamon, which is WWC, which is the Puerto Rico promotion. So you got to see like Rufus R. Jones and Jimmy Valiant taking on the Samoans. That was the legitimate Samoans. And then on the screen right now, you have Battle of the Belts 3. So there you go.
The Bushwhackers, sheep herders against who?
Looks like it's the Fabulous Ones.
Oh, nice. I was gonna say that's Stan Lane for sure.
Yeah,
they had some really great bloody matches. So
they did.
I was gonna say a little Idaway tidbit. When I put the LWL together years ago, the first concept for that league was to be like the Caribbean bloodbath type league.
Nice.
I just thought it'd be a fun, like, keep it small. I've always liked that, like, just, you go there to, like, see somebody die in the ring or in the shower.
Or both.
Yeah.
Like I have the Ric Flair, Jack Ferrero title change, the Phantom title change, where, like, they basically, like, Ric Flair, you're not going to win tonight, and he was held at gunpoint and had to do a job and then ran away. So that exists. I have the footage of that.
That works.
If I'm not mistaken, I gotta look at it again, but I'm pretty sure the finish is cut off on that. But then you see like the celebration afterwards when Jack wins the end and the world title. So what do you got for Johnny B? I feel like he's mad at me again.
Well, he's full of rage. I think you would be too if you got out of emails all day from people like, my wrestler should have had a 481. What is this bullshit?
That's one I'm curious. What's the latest? Like, someone sent in like their matches like 2 weeks after it ran. Like, what's the latest he's gotten matches for? Like, oh, here's your money. It's like, well, the cycle was 2 weeks ago, there, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I guess one good question would be, what's the weirdest form of payment someone sent? Like, I know they sent like Canadian loonies or something like that, but like, did anybody ever send like coupons in the mail? Pictures. I was in a CVS the other day, and the lady in front of me was arguing with the guy, and she had like a coupon and it was way expired. And I'm waiting. I'm like, I like two things. And finally, I was like, well, actually, coupons never expire ever. And she was like, what? I'm like, no one cares. No one cares. Which that's now the second time I've ever done that. First time was at Barnes & Noble. I'm the kind of customer who, like, if people are being dicks to the employee,
you stick up for them? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's us being in retail forever.
Yeah. The first time was at Barnes & Noble, and this lady couldn't understand the math of, she was a Barnes & Noble member, so you got 10% off your book, apparently. And then there was another 10% off the book. And she kept saying, well, I should have another 10% because I'm a member. Like, you're getting that. And they kept explaining it to her. And it was like a difference of like $1 or something.
Yeah.
And it was Christmas time. The line was like super long, everyone behind us. And finally I took a $1 bill, slapped it down. I'm like, take the buck and leave. No one gives a shit. You don't understand math. Go away. I was so mad. No one cares. And I looked back at the rest of the line. They were all just like, give me the 80s nod, like.
Damn right.
So
Derek says, if not for Billy Gunn, I think Stan Lane is the most successful tag team wrestler ever, which is probably true.
My influences growing up were Ric Flair, Barry Windham, and Stan Lane.
Did you know that Stan Lane was the only wrestler trained by Ric Flair?
Yeah, why was he the only one?
I don't think that's even true.
I've heard that several times.
I think it's something. I think it's a kayfabe.
Stan Lane, not Lauren Boebert's father.
Yes, that's been.
That's one of my
that was a thing for a while.
Like, do you know about this wrestler? Like, that's not true. Yeah, but it sounds like it could be. Like, well, no. All right, so Johnny B's Q&A. All right. Let's see here. Okay. From Johnny B. Jr. My report on Idaho job statistics in the previous episode included the word carpenter. Matt believed this to be the case of a speech detection gone awry, and later stated via the chat box that he had, quote, never heard of that term until tonight, but I had also used it in episode 154, which aired on September 11th, and again in episode 163, which was streamed on January 9th. Matt read my responses aloud all 3 times in the past year, so does it mean he doesn't pay attention to what he's reading and never hears himself speaking? Perhaps he is wearing headphones each time and his microphone volume was too low. Not such a thing would ever occur on his Tubecast. No, never.
Matt just has poor short-term memory. So.
Yeah. Actually, I have a sickening memory. Actually, it's one of my fun things. I've never had any booze in my life. I always credit that for having a good memory. But there are times I forget things, and I'm just like, oh, yeah. Like, oh, man. Did I tie the dog to the bumper? Yeah, so. I had not heard that term. I mean, maybe I said it and I just thought, like, maybe you misspelled that, but carpenter, as they say up here. Also in the previous episode, Alex proudly announced that he had recently purchased a 1997 Chevy Camaro Z28. Longtime viewers may recall in this episode 127, which was recorded just shy of 2 years ago, I revealed that the second vehicle I had ever owned was the 1988 version. Oh, okay. So like Alex, it featured a 5.7-liter V8 engine as well as T-tops. Wow.
Yes.
T-tops. I certainly wouldn't encourage such behavior today, but once I wanted to see what it could really do, so I opened it up on the freeway. And as the needle approached moved beyond 100-mile-per-hour mark, everyone ahead of me began clearing the lane. If the onlookers were expecting an ensuing police chase, they were to be disappointed. Although I suffered no negative repercussions, I did decide not to press my luck any further, and I hope Alex exercises better judgment than I did back then.
All this while listening to Def Leppard.
That's right. Pour some sugar on me. A couple of things he should keep in mind are that such engine produces so much torque that if he puts the pedal to the floor from a standstill, he'll likely leave rubber on the road.
Yeah.
Pause for him to make an inappropriate mark.
Better than the rubber in my pants.
Oh, here it is. And due to the combination of that excessive torque and rear drive, his new ride probably won't handle very well in snowy or icy conditions. Luckily for me, the pavement happened to be dry when I performed my pre-internet version of Information Superhighway speed test. Alex, have you ever driven really fast?
Yes.
Do you want to admit what your fastest speed was?
I hit 125 in a 1995 Mustang with a 351, and I bought that in 2006. This is my second 1995 Mustang. I've had more than one.
Wow.
But yeah, it almost fell apart while I was doing it. It was just literally like.
Scott, have you ever
probably 110 in a 1987 Pontiac Sunbird.
There it is.
Four-cylinder.
I think I rode in that car.
You have ridden in that car.
I I believe that my fastest ever was going up Route 1 from here up to Salisbury, and there's a long stretch where you can kind of get away with it. And I had my 1989 Nissan Maxima, and I pinned it at 125. But I remember going, and I hit 100 and thinking like, wow, it's not that bad. And then once it got over 100, it had a little bit of shake to it, which is the other part where I got uncomfortable. I was like, ugh. So, I mean, it's one of those things like, it's like I've been to gun ranges. Like, okay, I've shot stuff. I've shot, weapons. Okay. Like going fast in the car. Okay.
It's more about, they call it aggressive acceleration.
Yeah.
So, to me, like, I don't really care about top end. Like, you're never going to go that fast on a regular basis anyway. You're not going to go over 100 very often, right? This is not going to happen. What matters to me most is how fast can you get to 0 to 60.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. So it's all that, low end acceleration that I'm most concerned about. What was your first car, Matt?
Oh my God, a 1983 Datsun or 82 Datsun 510, the Bondmobile.
Yeah,
it was dumper, just an absolute dumper, and I totaled it. So,
Scott, what was yours?
The 87 Sunbird.
I love it.
Yeah. Yep.
Mine was a 1986 Honda Accord. It was powder blue and rust colored because they had rust on it.
Rust colored or just rusty?
Rust. Well, yes. And the leaky sunroof too. I crashed that car.
Yeah, my dad and I put all kinds of Bondo on it and like just painted it with like that rust, that Rust-Oleum rusty paint color. Just
well, you know how classic car guys, they go to like auctions and sales with like the magnet, because like a lot of those guys can do magic with Bondo, so they put the magnet so they make sure like, oh, it's not all fucking Bondo.
Bondomobile. I actually, one of my early comedy ideas when I was in college was a video skit, and it was me going around campus, and it was called The Bondo World of Wheels. And I went around to find the shittiest cars. Like, it's an 85 Mustang with no bumper. Like this.
They made a 4-cylinder Mustang one time. That was not good.
On purpose?
Yeah. And that 4-cylinder Nova, that was a hatchback. Oh. Yeah, it was rough. I think on the screen right now, if I'm seeing this correctly, it is Great Muda taking on, I believe it looks like Tim Horner, because I see White Lightning on the boots.
Oh yeah, good old Tim Horner. He's dead.
No, he isn't.
I put 2 bullets on him. He better be. All right, so here's the next question. Alex asked, "I'm curious about what Johnny B thought of the competition from back in the day, back when there was some." So here we go. This is a good one. Okay. So this question, I'll simply regurgitate my incredibly long-winded Q&A exchange from episode 116, which streamed on January 4th of 2022. Feel free to skip it, particularly if Alex is eager to hear the results of the New Wave League.
Son of a bitch.
So I don't remember what we had then, but it's good to be duplicated. It's a good form of flattery. Let's see. Scott wanted to know, what are the IWA's thoughts on other games and how they've outlasted them, such as the FWA and leagues based on video games? Here we go. All right, so let me get this part out here. Johnny B. Jr. My father pioneered the concept of play-by-mail wrestling, so he tended to take copycat outfits as a personal affront, particularly when they would unashamedly clone the play system he had developed. One imitator literally downloaded our handbook, used a word processor find and replace feature to change IWA to their organization's initials and call it a day. Wow. You mentioned the FWA, so I found the website and saw that they've done the exact same thing with a section of a handbook that explains the count-out and disqualification values. They even kept the term cycle in a text despite using round of play everywhere else. There you go. They have also copied a section of the handbook entitled Cheating, where removed a few sentences that didn't apply to the game before replacing it with the I in IWA with F. As the author of our handbook, I've always found it somewhat flattering when rivals would deem my work worthy of being copied, but I considered copying my father's work as respectful to his memory. Imitators forced us to shutter the entertaining chat room in our website because they continually exploited it to market their clones.
There was a chat room?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, before my time. Oh, I missed that window.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
To see those logs.
Yeah. Let's see. And it would have been a really fun manager mailing list project in the days before social media had to be canceled due to similar concerns. Yeah, there was going to be the Idaho yearbook. I remember that because I ordered one, and then it did not happen. And I was like, oh.
Next, it's going to be, we're going to do a calendar. It's going to be Men of the Iwar. So send me your sexiest pictures, and I'll put them in a calendar. You can give it to your wives and girlfriends.
Yeah. Wow. All right, that's terrifying. Let's see here. Those
Aaron's got to be February.
That's right. Those are the type of things that bother me most about the abrupt copycats, that they have a negative effect on the level of fun our players are having. Not only do most put zero effort into creating an original game, but they also employ underhanded methods to build a player base rather than assuming the risk of paying for advertising and believing in their product. It is never surprises that such tactics resulted in failure, but I occasionally wonder about the many wrestling fans who joined a copycat game instead of ours and gave the imitators their money, only to have the game close up shop without warning and without refunds. That has happened quite a few times in our 38.5 year history. How many of those victims were willing to take another chance on the play-by-mail concept? How much fun would it have had if they had joined our game instead? How much fun would they have had provided for their fellow players if most of these copycats had the clue about a huge amount of work and time commitment required to keeping a play-by-mail wrestling game running? They wouldn't have made the attempt, and fewer managers would have been cheated out of their money. The fact that we made necessary commitment to and been willing to do the work all these years is one of the two main reasons Attaway is still around, while so many clones are long forgotten. The other main reason is all of you who are currently playing, as well as, sorry to jump the page. Where did I go? Oh, here's. As well as other first-rate people who preceded you. We've never been perfect, but we're always been understanding. We'll keep trying. As for video games from a wrestling theme, they're often great fun, but I don't feel like the Attaway is in competition with them. While they offer a more immediate visual experience, you're not allowed to create storylines involving random celebrities from past decades and share them with your friends. Nor do they permit you to hold off-the-wall death matches in Siberia during the holidays or in a Walmart parking lot. You can't play on your own schedule, reviewing our recent results and trash talk. On the subway, you absolutely must coordinate blocks of time with your friends and play only when it's mutually convenient. That's true. Another downside to their instant gratification is that they afford you little or no time to reflect on the events that transpired, preparing an entertaining response for your grappler. You're too busy mashing buttons. You also sacrifice the delicious anticipation of the companies waiting for gold results to post. Wrestling video games are simply a different kind of beast. I'm glad they exist because the Iwar magazine covers wouldn't be the same without them. And what other topic would Alex have to launch his channel? Perhaps some sort of plumbing fixture that rhymes with IWA. Here you go.
It would have been porn reviews.
Yes.
That's what it would have been. I would have watched different adult films and reviewed them. That was plan B.
It would have been tough for you though, because they've really gotten away from the old school like Shaving Private Ryan approach, and they went more with like not Big Bang Theory XXX, which is just lazy. Half of the fun of those things was the names.
Rambone, Mrs. Assfire, that was a good one.
The good old days. All right, so Matt inquired, what was Johnny B's first pro wrestling show? Johnny B. Jr. With 10 children to support on a teacher's salary, my father, the original Johnny B.
Man, he was busy.
I'm thinking, 10 kids, as a side note, for just those who think things like, well, why don't we tax the rich? He had 10 kids. He was a teacher. A teacher, man. My friends who teach now have second jobs. Almost every one of them have a second job. And they don't have 10 kids or a wrestling game to run that we know of.
It's like that TV show, Just the 10 of Us. You ever watch that one?
No.
That was a good show. It was on TGIF. It was a spin-off of Growing Pains.
Was it really?
Yes, it was.
Who was the star?
It was
Tracy Gold?
No, the girl from Nightmare on Elm Street was in it.
Heather Lincoln.
Yeah.
Who?
Heather Lincoln Camp.
Not a real person.
Yes.
Alexa Lincoln Camp, a real person.
Watch Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, She's in the first two.
She's on the
the main
poster.
girl. Okay,
Yeah.
I kept thinking Beth from Better Off Dead because she was in it at one point. Anyways, all right. The original Johnny B couldn't often afford the luxury of attending pro wrestling exhibitions. The first show he took me to was held at a nearby high school and consisted mostly of carpenters. But the headliner was none other than 70s and 80s superstar Big John Studd.
Yes.
A giant man who trained by Killer Kowalski himself. Yes, I remember. I can only speculate on how fitting the stud portion was, but at 6'10", 365 pounds, he definitely lived up to the moniker, Big Moniker. So there you go. So first show headlined by Big John Studd. On the subject, here we go. Here's Alex's long-awaited answer.
Boxers
No,
and briefs?
No, not that one.
Ah, crap.
On the subject of appropriate names, one day when I was a wee lad, I decided to sample some pepper jack cheese, which my mother had bought for the first time in my young life. I slapped a couple slices between two pieces of bread and attempted to take a bite. I say attempted because it was the most difficult moment my jaw muscles had ever faced. After finally forcing the accursed dairy product to submit and sending it into the content into my stomach acid, I took a closer look at the sandwich and noticed there was a sheet of wax paper wedged between the slices of cheese. That was my one encounter with what I would thereafter refer to as paper jack cheese. All right. Also related to barely edible items and appropriate names, Matt's employer is not and has never been the Imaginary Wrestling Association. Rather, it's Trader Joe's. That's true. Ever since I tried the Indian microwave meal from that chain, which resulted in a terrible bout of food poisoning, I have both spelled and pronounced it Trader Joe's. Yeah, Indian food, I wouldn't bother with that. That's not my thing. Although I have had customers from India say it's very good, but I don't think,
What do they know?
Yeah, I know, right? No, it's food-wise, Trader Joe's has had the last couple of years a lot of things where it's like plastic found in things, metal, glass. Like, is someone just bringing like trash barrels and throwing them over the big food mixers? Like, what's going on?
That's why I work at a golf store.
That's right. Sorry for the squirts, but it happens.
Oh, speaking of squirt, I bought everyone squirt the soda for our break room, and everyone was like hysterical because it was hilarious. I buy inappropriate snacks.
That's okay. I once gave an ex of mine a T-shirt for, I think it was her birthday, and I forgot that I put the shirt in her bag with all of her gifts.
Yeah, shit on it.
And so her sister and all that, not all the family, but some family were there. And as she opened and pulled the shirt out, it had the big Squirt logo on it. Yeah, that was a fun moment. Because her aunt was like, "Oh yeah," and it's like, "Oh, the aunt gets it." Oh well. Anyway,
I'll
sorry.
keep my eye on you.
Yeah, right. Hey, auntie. And now a challenge for the host. Uh-oh. Name a food item that caused an unpleasant experience for you. The more publicly embarrassing, the better. A food item. So, Alex, do you have any kind of public distress with food items?
There's been a couple. I think I've told the story when I ate 100 individually wrapped pieces of American cheese when I was like 8. I couldn't go to the bathroom for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
I once got hammered and threw up chicken nuggets like everywhere. That was pretty gross. There's chicken nugget juice all over the backseat of my car. That's pretty gross. Nothing in front of people though. Not that I think of. Well, I got pickle juice in my eye yesterday. So I'm sitting there. I'm eating a fresh gherkin, right, from the deli, right, because it comes with a free pickle and side salad, which I never eat. I always throw it away. But yeah, I'm sitting there next to my boss. I'm in the break room. I take a big bite of my pickle, and the juice hits me right in the eye. So I got pickle juice right in the face. But I think everyone enjoys a good pickle, though.
Yes.
You get the ones in the
I like
barrels.
a sweet gherkin myself.
I had to get them at the bottom of the barrel. With the barrel pickles.
Scott, have you had any gastric distress from a food?
Too many times to remember.
Yeah.
The man had Arby's today, for Christ's sakes.
Did you have Arby's?
How did you know?
We have the meats.
He's clairvoyant.
We have the sheets. No, I will say
we've got a Nick Botwinkle taking on Kendo Nagasaki.
Oh my God!
Yes, we do.
Wow, old men club. I will say it's not so. I don't get like. I have pretty good bowel control. Luckily, but I have had times. I went to a trivia night with some coworkers about 4 months ago, and I was really hungry. I was like, oh, it's chicken fingers. Simple. Just nibble on them, whatever. Well, I don't know who made the chicken fingers, like Toxic Avenger or something. But I woke up at like 3 a.m. and I was like, and I don't throw up that often, so whenever I do, I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. I just know it's coming. So I went and was like, and I'm a screamer. I'm like, I can't just like throw up. I gotta like shout it out. Yeah. And the last time before that, I think it was a Wendy's chicken sandwich, where I was my dad and I were watching a game. And I had got the food on the way back, and he had a burger. He liked the double cheeseburgers from there, and I got a chicken sandwich. And I remember eating it, and like almost right afterwards, like I think I'm gonna throw up. And I got up, went to the bathroom, puked, and then I came back and I was fine. Like I'm lucky that way usually. Once I have that issue, but I think my favorite moment of kind of this, it wasn't me, it was a friend of mine. We were out at Taco Bell, and we were waiting for our food, and my friend Alan, his friend Mike was there, and Mike was this big guy, like tall, construction worker, very strong. And I don't know how this was out for your area, but in our area, the Taco Bell seats all were plastic, so if you farted, it was like reverberated. Like, so Mike was like,
that was on purpose.
Yeah, so he went to fart, and he starts to push, and then you see his eyes just change as he realizes, like, uh-oh. And it was... And the look, it's like I can never forget the way his face expression changed from like, haha, watch this to, and that was great. That was a great thing. Because one, I hadn't driven, so it was my car. So we were like, we were scrambling, like, what can we put down in the car seat? Oh my God, that was it was early too in the night. Like we just got food, we're going to go out later. Like, no, we're not.
Nope.
But yeah, food's the thing I always tell people all the time, like, if you like spicy, that's fine. Usually you can build up to it. But if you don't like spicy, like I don't tempt yourself because you're going to regret it. Like, just go with what you know. Especially if you were in a situation where you don't, like, know people or know where you're going. Like, I have a old habit. If I'm going to, like, a wedding or a big function where
you get the fish?
What's that?
You get the fish every time?
No, I eat before I go. I eat, like, I'll get, like, a burger or something just to fill my stomach so that way I'm not super hungry. So if the food's terrible...
Wedding food's always bad. I never had good wedding food, ever.
Really?
I've never been to a wedding where like, oh, man, this food's great.
My sister's wedding had good food.
What was it, though? Prime rib? Chicken marsala?
It was chicken. One was chicken, but I remember it was my dad was like, it's got to have beef. We got to have, like, prime rib or something. So it was like, all right. Yeah, I didn't pay for it, but that was a great wedding.
Shrimp cocktail.
I was a young lad back then. That was a fun wedding. Except I brought a date who I didn't know
had the squirts.
No, I knew that, but we had dated in the past, and I brought her, and unbeknownst to me, she was getting smashed the whole night because I was at the main table and she was like, my date, but she wasn't up next there with me. And she's getting smashed the whole night. Tells the table, I just found out I'm pregnant, and I wasn't like dating her.
Right. So it was like, congratulations to you.
So it was like, you've been pounding drinks all night. And then she threw up in the women's bathroom. So like, I have relatives to this day who are like, hey, whatever happened to that nice girl? Well, Anyways,
she threw a baby in the dumpster.
Yeah. So, just a fun fact: named her first kid Aragorn.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Name one of the guys in Lord of the Rings. Before the movies, way before the movies.
Okay.
Well, the movies with people, not the art ones. So
I got a question for Johnny B.
Okay.
Is there a list of every single IWA World Champion floating around?
Not every single one, but Scott had a really good start on it way back in the day.
So I wonder if there's one floating around out there, just from number one to from whatever month, 1985. What was the month that it launched? Does anyone know what month IWA launched?
October, I believe.
October.
I think it was August or October. I used to know.
So it was post WrestleMania, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I think what I'm curious about is how long did it take testing to go live? Like when they first had
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like when Johnny B was first, like, hey guys, sit down. I want to try this thing out, and like blah blah blah, right? And then from that to like actually putting an ad in the magazine
To launch.
Yeah, I remember. I've heard the story. Like he had the kids in the school play testing it, maybe. But I'm curious about the process of like just creation to the actual like marketing. And as always, if you have a question for the IWA and Johnny B, you can chime in.
As long as it's not about Stagger Lee or the Yellow Dog or something.
Nice.
So you want to start? You want to start BRL?
Sure. Yeah. Let me click over to BRL.
So has anyone watched the Bray Wyatt documentary yet?
I haven't seen it.
No, but I heard the Roman Reigns ones was really, really good. But it's like a work shoot. Like it's kind of real. Half. Did you see it?
No.
I've seen about 30 minutes of the Bray Wyatt, and it's
Is it sad?
just that they're sad but incredible for this guy's mind.
Yeah.
Is just it was phenomenal.
I think that's going to be the bigger loss was when his career was done and as a part of creative.
Yeah.
And make sure that you sit down, and if you're going to watch it all, because it's 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Definitely do that for sure.
And I only got through 30 minutes, but I promised my son that we'd watch it together. So
you watched it.
That's how it catches you, though. I mean,
Yeah.
and one thing that I have loved so far, I've seen Mike Rotunda do an interview with Bill Apter, and then he's in this documentary as well. And both times, I mean, he is just bawling his eyes out. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen Rotunda have too much, his facial actions are not where they're a big deal. Well, he talks about his son, and there's deep love there.
Yeah. Yeah, I that's one of the ones I want to watch, but also I feel like it's gonna be like I mean, I'm sure you guys probably remember this moment. Remember when Owen died, and they had that Raw afterwards, and then when Chris Benoit died, and that we didn't know, no one knew, and that Raw was so just emotional, and everyone was I remember Edge and Triple H crying, and just devastating. And then when it all came out, that's the love all the guys have for each other for the most part, except for CM Punk. All right, so BRL. Holy moly. BRL, this is number 617, the April cycle here, or round of play, or tour, as the kids call it. So league champion, once again, Monster Truck Tanaka, winning $25, not a big credit, and gotta tell you, I was happily surprised. Because I saw Scott's message to me saying, something about the IWL, and I was like, oh, this would be cool. And I thought, well, I probably did terrible everywhere else. Because to focus on the strategy process, what I did this cycle is I went with a set back five. I went with 90, 73, 62, 60, whatever. The 13th spot was a 42. But I did is I I fluctuated. So the 42-1 versus 42-2, if you will. And I got lucky. So yay me. So our Battle Royal winner, also winning $25 in IWA credit, Ross Vaughn Atkinson. Atkinson. I always want to say it longer. Tag champs, Fenris and Wolf. The long 4-cycle reign of Samoan Death Grip ended. And I should note that they were the third team to have a 4-cycle reign. The White Claw Outlaws and Tommy Landell and Teddy Angel were the other teams. And I was pulling because there's never been a 5-cycle tag reign. So close. But definitely history making. Then, of course, the TV tag champs, the unusual combination of Punk Rock Mike with Brendan McFlaherty.
Bro.
Yeah, I call those kind of teams like the old school IWA, where you just like put a name on a piece of paper. And it'd be like, oh, this guy's good. All right, hopefully he wins. Bang! 6-man champions, Royal Family of Dooms, Timberwolf, Fenris, and Wolf. And then our TV 6-man champions, the Vaughn Atkinsons, Kerry, Kevin, and David. Moving on to our TV champion, Flashy Jack Ferdinand, who had a 500. He was one. There was like 4 or 5 500s out of the BRL this cycle. Central Plains champions, Punk Rock Mike. East Coast champion, Ross Vaughn Atkinson. Great Lakes champion, Hot Stuff Adam Cash. Mid-Atlantic champion, gonna go Alex here, Frandel Warpslayer. Warpslayer, I hope that's right. Northeast champion. Northeast champion, Misfit Messiah. Pacific Northwest champion, Dark Danger. Rocky Mountains champion, Big Guns, Greg Gannar. And Southeast champion, the Total Package, U.S. Mail. Southwest champion, the Samoan Assassin. Quietly putting together a very strong year. Samoan Assassin with 5 regionals and 5 cycles.
Really?
Yeah, nice work. And then our West Coast champion coming back to activity, Patrick O'Malley. So well done, fellas. I will tell everyone, if you want to kill some time and read some fun stuff, the BRL pay-per-view WrestleRama 12 is in this issue. And it's 4 pages. Thanks to Aaron for helping me write this. It has the Royal Rumble in there. There's a lot that goes on. You find out who the father of Heo the Teamster is after all this time. It is not Johnny B. One spoiler. I thought about that at one point. I was like, I can't do that.
Steven Seagal.
Steve Seagal. Under Siege is a good goddamn movie. No, I just want to thank everyone for getting active and bumping up again. We've been doing very well activity-wise in Iwar, and I appreciate that. And don't forget, of course, the Iwar deal now goes across the BRL, CWL, IWL, and WTL.
What's that deal?
That deal, thanks for asking. Actually, NWL too. That deal is you get, for $12, you get your 20 matches. Like you normally pick your matches, right? But then you get 30 scrub wins. So you get those extra little bonus of matches to get those scrub wins on there and help improve your record. So little bonus there for the kids.
Is there a coupon code?
There's not a coupon code. And, of course, you also have the Battle Royal deal, which is in the WTL, IWL, BRL, and CWL. And that is 2 for $1. So you get a nice little deal there.
So if someone puts down their $12,
yes,
the deal will automatically go through without you saying anything?
No. As always, when you take any kind of deal anywhere in the IWA, you should make sure you announce that, I'm doing this as part of deal. Same thing with free matches. Like some players every so often ask, like, "Oh, I won free matches. What do I do now?"
So what shall they call this deal?
The Iwar deal.
The Iwar deal. There it is.
Yeah. I'm taking the Iwar deal. So there it is. So, anyways, the BRL is a lot going. I have not even skimmed the trash talk yet. So, feel free to take a look there. But that's
there's no AI in it. So it's not gonna be any good this cycle.
Yeah. In fairness, in the full disclosure, myself and some others did kind of make some jokey AI attack posts, and again, we were talking before the show about this. I think AI can be used well. It's just if everyone's doing it, to give you a wrestling term or a wrestling verse, it's like if you go to a wrestling show and somebody does this running, tope suicida, right? You're like, wow, like you're in an independent show. But if every guy does that move during every match 3 or 4 times, it loses its luster. You're like, oh, yeah, all right, whatever. Well, kind of like AI. Like if I saw one guy doing a promo with it, they one thing, but like they're just very similar. And I think that a little tweak here and there, like I know, like when I fool around with AI, it'll say things like the genre or style you want to have it done in, but you can get some different looks that way. I was fooling around when I had Mr. Lucha, Senior Lucha, meeting his valet Testicles, and I was trying to get the image of them meeting at the Waffle House where they first met. And I couldn't quite get it because I would tell it like, oh, it's a middle-aged grappler with a punchy belly, meeting a woman, a voluptuous black woman in a Waffle House, and the images they came back.
Sounds like my Saturday night.
It was actually Jeff's hit a Waffle House the other day and was telling us about it. We were all like, oh man, Waffle House. So, anyways, just as always, we want people active, we want having fun. So just bring the heat, throw some challenges out there, and have fun with it. So there's the BRL. So where are we going? Do you actually dig that?
I do dig it.
Nice.
Well, you know what you're going to dig next? The WTL.
Oh.
Would you like to know the champion?
I sure do.
Okay, let's do it. Western Frontier champion, the Outlaw, Josie Wells. Lone Star champion, Outlaw, Ace and Eights. Maybe better if I took my glasses off. I can see better. Mexico champion. Whoops. Central Plains champion, Texas, Jesse Tombstone.
Ooh.
You suck.
Mexico champion, Bart Shatterday. Dodge City champion, Dolphin Balor. Tombstone champion, the Trash Man Balls Buckshot. Prairie View champion, Doc Holliday. Widowmaker champion, Blackjack Robertson.
Ooh.
Badlands champion, Mid-South Maxwell.
Also boo.
Hey,
I don't know who that is.
I'm pretty sure I know who it is. Chuck Zeetflow. Cripple Creek champion, Wyatt Shatterday. Southwest champion, Ruby So Hold Up. Chisholm Trail champion, fitting for a cowboy, Jim Spur.
Chisholm.
Chisholm.
Yeah, can I tell you a quick side note? There's a no-tell motel near where I used to live in Saugus, about 10 miles away, and it's called Chisholm's. And they have love tubs and adult channels. And I just love like the old school, like, we're a smut hotel, we ain't hiding it. Just so whenever I
Hourly
drive by,
rates.
I would just scream out the window, Chisholm's! Because I'm an adult. Sorry.
Hey, that's okay.
Who had the tag belts?
I'm going to jump down to the bunkhouse brawl winner, and it's Bart Shatterday.
Boom.
Now let's go into the tag teams. Western Frontier tag team champions. The Spittoon, Lou Gee, and the Gambler, Jackpot. And then your Lone Star tag champs, Texas, Jesse Tombstone, and Shotgun, James Carnage.
Boo.
Your Western Frontier six-man champions, the Spittoon, Lou Gee, the Gambler, Jack Potts, and former World Heavyweight Champion, Outlaw Ron Logan.
Yes.
Lone Star six-man champs, the Shatterday triplets. Okay, they're not triplets, but anyway. Wyatt, Wayne, and Bart. So there you go. There's your champions for the WTL.
I dig that. Is there a pay-per-view or anything coming up soon? Does anyone know? There is. Was it Revolution at the Red Rocks? Is it on Mars? Is it Mars?
I know he's still going with the tournaments.
Okay.
So this was 91. So the results on the bottom there, I didn't do them out, but I would say Potts and Lugie may have won the tag belt semifinal, or actually, I'm sorry,
Oh.
I don't know who's in the finals. I won't speculate. So
We know there's a Triple Crown prize pool, 20 free matches and 250,000 imaginary bucks.
nice.
I just wonder if the next pay-per-view is going to be in Sturgis, South Dakota.
Or Laconia, New Hampshire.
Well, they're going to have the, what's it, Hog Wild? They had Hog Wild there?
No, they go to Denver for the Rocky Mountain Oyster. There it is.
There it is. Next up, I guess I'll do the, what's it called? The CWL.
There it is.
There you go. League champion, Professor M. Algernon. TV champion, late night, Logan Kane, that son of a bitch.
Ooh.
United States champion, Future Man. I don't think he's from the future. Who was that? The wrestler that came from the future? Was it Chris Champion?
There was the New Breed,
New Breed.
and they feuded with Lasertron.
And the president was Dusty Rhodes. That was weird. I want to live in that multiverse. That's the one I want to go to.
Yeah.
Yukon champion, Spanish chef Casey Delas. Caribbean champion Drake Fontes. Amazon Basin champion, the Major Benny Factor. British Isles champion, the Chameleon. Arabian champion Mike freaking Mason. South African champion High Space Chase Driver. Siberian champion Nutty Bunny number 3. East Asian champion the Genuine Artificial. Oceanic champion Mike Drake. League tag champion winning 5 free matches Johnny the Wrench Morello and Vince Vittorio. TV tag team champions Nutty Bunny 1 and Nutty Bunny 2. League 6-man champion, the Major Benny Factor, Nature Boy Phil Landers, and the Genuine Artificial. TV 6-man champions, Axel Von Schnapp, Alex Von Schnapp, and Alex Von Schnapp. Your Battle Royal winner winning 25 free CWL matches, Professor M. Algernon. And that is the CWL. I know they have a pay-per-view coming up shortly. What's it called? It is...
Allegiance.
Okay.
Yes.
Allegiance.
We have sides forming. Will be Team Lazarus Lane or Team Samantha Soley? Whose team will be in control of the CWL?
Have they chosen their teams yet?
No, but wrestlers are picking their sides. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about this Red Scorpion?
Yeah. What about the Red Scorpion?
I haven't looked at this yet, but I also want to. All right, so. For years, we've had a soft spot for players who are earnest, honest, and fun to read, and like they stick to who they are, and they're just like a fun, we had characters like Big Bad Bob,
Bob, Backstabber comes to mind.
Backstabber, the guy who cut off Atari's head, guys like that.
The lightsaber.
Yes. Okay. Here's Red Scorpion's promo. And I keep saying, like, when he has a little symbol, like the Zodiac symbol here, I'm like, I hope this guy's not in someone's basement killing people.
So I can tell you real quick. Darren can't comment, but he's listening, so his tablet won't let him comment on YouTube.
Oh, he can't talk about how much if he could comment, he would say how much he loves the Von Snaps.
He would. I've seen it.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the Red Scorpions promo. And it says, me and Doug's brother Craig. So here's the best part. Somebody actually made up wrestlers, and one of them is Doug, and one is Doug's brother.
And Craig's apparently blind?
Apparently.
Okay. Let's say they don't like Logan Kane. He's not as good as Kane. He has no fire powers.
Yes.
So I guess that's he's talking about Kane, the big red machine, huh?
Yes.
Okay. He's stupid, not like Craig because Craig is blind.
Look at the very last line, though.
Vote for Scorpion?
What are you voting for him for?
I don't know.
And why is there a random crest in the middle?
Well, maybe that's going to be his platform that he's going to. Was he running for president or 2024? Vote for Red Scorpion?
Maybe. And then the next best thing is the very next page is Big Bad Bob's. He doesn't need to put his name on it. You know it's his work. But it's like this spiked barbed wire table is busted in the middle. Like, wow.
Did Scorpion make a comment about Big Bad Bob's drawing? And he said stop drawing spiders and draw a real man like him. I think I read
if I could put a meme into this right now, I'd put the meme of the guy going, "Let them fight."
Maybe the Red Scorpion will be on Samantha Soli's side.
There you go.
The
Scorpions come out to the music, playing to the ring.
Well, I would assume, and it's
yeah,
rocket like a hurricane, right?
Absolutely.
I would assume so yeah. So he has. I guess there's more Red Scorpion people. There's Doug and Craig, who is also Doug's brother, who is apparently blind.
Kim was like, "What is his name? What is going on?" All right. So, do you dig that?
I do dig it quite a bit. Alrighty. So, you want to do the Black Widow League?
Sure. All right. So, this is number 34, and it is featuring Black Widow champion Addison Killswitch, television champion The Supreme Court Justice, Battle Royal winner also The Supreme Court Justice, Japan Idol Barbed Wire, excuse me, Joshi champion Drusilla Dragon, Zenjo champion Bandita, Luchadores champion Brenda Bring the Pain, Cholitas champion Meat Train.
Lex Luger looking jacked, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? Bellatrix champion Penny Punk, Cholitas champion Meat Train, Temasquiara champion Jersey Jen Grapevine, Hollywood champion Queen Bee Sarah B. Money, Sin City champion Rudy Groove, and Willowick champion The Huntress. All right. So also note that Huntress, 5 regionals and 5 cycles. Well done. The report is Tangled Web, sorry. And check it out, folks. See a lot of fun news there. So Patrick doing a great job taking over for the former bum that ran this place.
He's not as good looking though, so that's the problem.
I don't know. You never know. But the final round here, the winning team. So Meat Train versus Betty Red versus Rudy Groove and Jersey Jen. And I'm gonna look a quick look numbers wise. See if I can figure out who wins this. We got Betty Red, who, oh my God, Betty Red, 488, Meat Train, 499, Rudy Groove, 493, Jersey Jen. Oh my God. I can't tell who won. Because I can't find Jersey Jen for some reason. Where is it?
Did they die?
No. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. Oh, there they are. Oh. I'm going to guess that, I don't want to guess. I think Betty Red Meat Train won, but I could be wrong. So who knows? We'll half-ass it. That's the way to do it. Where the Boys Aren't 3 is coming up. We are in cycle number 34, so 38 and 39, so some time to build up to the matches. But you can see the card layout and some of the bouts coming up. And, of course, we have promos. So lots of trash talk in the BWL. Remember, for the BWL, if you're considering playing in a league BWL, it is $5. That gets you 6 singles matches, a Battle Royal entry, and there's more news to come. So I won't spoil any surprises, but there's some changes coming to the BWL that you're going to like. And she'll like it, too. All right, so do you dig that?
I do. I got a question for everyone. Has everyone recently watched soft ground wrestling from Uganda?
What the hell is that?
It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. They just did a run-in on Jesus.
Oh my God.
I guess
were they doing like the Easter celebration and someone ran in?
They gave him a triple super kick.
Okay.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've
Wait,
ever
are those the kids?
I don't know. They're Ugandans. I don't know if they're kids.
Well, like there's a video I saw these kids wrestling like in like a dirt courtyard, and I was
Yeah, that's probably them.
oh man,
They
okay.
just beat up Jesus, and they came up with the flog splash.
Wow.
He'll make his comeback 7 days later. He'll be all right.
Yeah, that's right. All right,
He's
so
gonna kick out. Let's do NWL. I'll do it.
all right.
All right, NWL National Wrestling League. League champion, Starlight. TV champion, Slapshot, Chris Samaki, or Samoki. Central Plains champion, Rockin' Ricky Starr. East Coast champion, Swamp Sox Jr. Great Lakes champions, Double D Christoph. Mid-Atlantic champion, the Reparate Lanny Teague. Northeast champion, Dr. Steven C. Farr. Pacific Northwest champion, John Holland. Rocky Mountain champion, Derek Cash Styles. Southeast champion, Mad Dog Ben. Southwest champion, Thomas T.D. Banks. West Coast champion, Killer Creed. League Tag Team Champions winning 5 free matches, Starlight and Reparate Lanny Teague. TV Tag Team Champions, Slapshot, Chris Samoki, and Steven C. Farr. League 6-man champions, Slapshot, Chris Samoki, Brooklyn, Gregory Sanderson, and Dr. Steven C. Farr. The TV 6-man champion, Mike Rampage Sanders, Killer Creed, and Jailbird Smith. And your Battle Royal winner, Swamp Sock Jr.
All right. Well, I will chime in a couple of notes here on the NWL. First, congrats to Starlight with a 501.
Son of a bitch.
Yes, so 501. I don't believe it's any kind of perfect, but from what I've looked at, there are about, I think, 4 501s across the gold.
Okay.
So there's a good chance that might be good enough for gold fed. So you never know, but really fun. And it's interesting too because the player that writes this character also writes another character, and they're just so completely different. Like one is this gritty ex-convict type, trailer park brutal guy, and the other one is just like space wrestler. It's just such a great
outer space, like
yeah, kind of like I won't remember it. Go and check TTF.
That's fun. That's fun.
But lots of good work here, and I've said before that we might be down our usual numbers way, but like the players we have playing are doing amazing. So good job, guys. Keep it up. Except you, AJ Hammer. You can screw off. Anyways, I like AJ Hammer a lot. So that was the NWL and Collision Course. I should mention too. This is the cycle with Collision Course results in this bulletin, so you can go down and well, actually, you'll see the layout, but the results are from this cycle, so it's going to be really exciting to see how that plays out. I know what happens. So yeah, there it is. So all we have left is IWL.
Yeah. So what's going down in the IWL?
You're asking me for?
I don't know.
You want me to do the IWL or Scott?
Anyone who wants to do it.
I'm too busy reading the NWL.
Oh,
All
that's
right,
fair.
then I'll do it. All right, so I'm very happy to announce that the league champion for the 189 tour of the IWL is the Chameleon with a 500.
There it is.
So well done, sir. Chameleon's really starting to hit his stride. TV champion, Alex Von Snap. New York City champion, Death Valley Drifter. Los Angeles champion, Axel Von Snap. Boston champion, Alec Von Snap. Detroit champion, the closest available Von Snap. Grumpy Von Snap. It's like the Care Bears or with the Smurfs. No, Detroit champion, Chase Grace.
I was more of a Shirt Tails guy myself.
Cleveland champion, Americano, Hank Henkel. Dallas champion, Father Conrad. Memphis champion, Perry Legal. Miami champion, Friend Zoned, Frederick Goodfellow. San Francisco champion, Grand Ramada. Chicago champion, Lee Tigation. And your tag champions for the third cycle in a row, winning another 5 free matches, the Americanos, Hank Henkel and Buddy Donner. And I hope people are enjoying the promos I'm doing for them. TV tag champions, Axel and Alex von Snop. League six-man champions, retaining to win 5 free matches, the Von Schnaps.
Jesus Christ.
TV six-man champion, I should make Alex read these, but I won't. Principe Oscuro de Sangre, Hombre Muerto Ziris, and Dance Macabre. And the Battle Royal winner, winning 33 free matches, Alex von Snop. Another reason why you should always enter the Battle Royals, overall, is that you get free matches or out-of-way credit. So there's a lot of good to come out of that. So,
or you can get pissed off when you never win them. So there's that too.
Yeah, I would suggest this. One thing I've tried to do with my strategies is I move a lot of the holds around and try to spread it around, because if you ever look at the actual numbers the Attaway uses to determine the winners, there's 2 sets. What they do is one set figures out like hole number 1, 5, 7, whatever, right? And that figures out who wins the league battle royals. And then they usually do a second pick, I believe. Johnny B will chime in if this is wrong. I believe there's a second pick of set, and that determines who wins the King of the Ring title. So you have to do pretty well to win the whole thing overall. Yeah, for 2 entries for $1, why not? IWL wise, what's going down? Let's see here. Matt Mania. My pages are white. There we go. Okay. So we have Matt Mania. So the show is written up here. So you can see the write-up. So like the BRL WrestleRama, this is Matt Mania. And I won't give anything away, but you get lots of good write-ups here. Derek put in the work. And there's a swamp fight in here. So, can't pass up a good swamp fight.
Swamp ass.
My wife calls me Swampfoot. Do you remember that commercial?
No, what the
It was a commercial for like odor eaters, and the guy was like, gets home, puts his feet up, and his wife's like, and he's like, my wife calls me Swampfoot.
Have you seen the commercials from back in the day when AIDS?
Yes.
Those are hilarious.
The best commercial, I was explaining to the kids at work, the old PSAs from the 80s. They like, I learned about watching you.
Yeah.
And the best one, that one people talk about. But my favorite one was the same kind of genre, same theme, same time frame. And it's his kids. It's a rainy day, and there's a guy and his kid in the car, and it's raining out. And he's like, all right, remember, now you give all your friends these drugs. And he's like, you want me to just give it to them for free? And he's like, yeah. You get your friends a taste and let them get hooked. And then the kid cuts him off and goes, and then I start charging? He's like, you're a smart kid, Jimmy. You have a good day at school. And it was just, it was it was just the way the guy said it. And then I start charging? I looked at the Red Sox cover the spread. Damn it! Red Sox.
Have you seen that roller skating commercial for the roller skating rink? It's like, oh, I'm not going to do crack. I'm going to go roller skating.
Yes. Yeah, that was a good one. All right, so that's a good one. So I will say, I'm tired. What I mentioned before about the spreading the strategies around. So what I did in the IWL, thanks in part to Mike Cook's mentorship,
penis,
is I gave. Oh my God. I gave the Americanos 1 and 33 as their drop. So they had a 25 and 26. And then I gave the Von Schnaps 1 and 33. So like they had the same combo. One was a trios, one was a tag. Rolled the dice. And the 40, I gave the 27 drop to the Lou Spittoon, Lou Gee, and Jack Potts. So just, always keep cranking out there, guys. And I wanted to kind of talk about this real quickly, too. Is there was a question earlier. Let me pull it up here. In the Iwar chat group. And it was about how much Darren loves the Von Schnaps. We'll forgo that question for now. And the question was asking about advice for like, hey, if I want to go to like a league like the BRL or CWL or what? Let me find. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I checked out the scores of the BRL and IWL, and where my current score would have put me because of those two are. I'm thinking I will go to the end where I go after the end. I'm sorry, because of and where my current score would have put me because those two are the two I am thinking of going to after the NWL. BRL is very competitive. I may be able to compete better in IWL. What is the biggest difference between the two leagues? And as a general overall for the Iwar, like you have players who play in every league, and normally speaking, you shouldn't be running the same exact strategy in every league.
You want to spread the wealth.
Yeah, you want to shake things up, and for example, I didn't do very well in CWL at all. I had one TV 6-man, but I did great in the IWL. I have the league championship in the BRL, and WTL I have a tag in 6-man with Ron Logan. So you kind of take the good and the bad. You're never probably ever going to have a cycle where every one of your guys has a belt. But you should be focused on really the quality you get. So if you want to have a higher score, so for example, if you get a 500, great. You might have someone with a 487 or a 488. But if you get a 500 or 501 out of it, take that hit. It's way better having that happen than having a bunch of guys with 493s and 494s.
Like we've seen it go the other way too, where these guys will average like a 491 or 492, and then they hit big, and they'll come up with a 499, and all their wrestlers have a 499, and they sweep everything. But that happens like once a year, though.
Yeah, there's some players that will do that, and that's a thing where I would just say you can do that, but it's really
you're gonna put yourself out of contention for a lot of the rest of the year stuff and a lot of the awards for the end of the year.
Oh, this just in. Chiming in our chat box, the Iwar chat box.
My box is always open for you.
That's Rags to Riches versus EC Rott and Savannah Dexter in the finals of the tag tournament. Will Ryan let us know what the finals will be for the commissioner's belt? Because I know it's not Senor Lucha because his strategy sucked.
And will the next pay-per-view be from Sturgis, South Dakota?
Yes, that as well. And we do have, once again, the Fun Stops. Reading that IWL bulletin was like, and this Fun Stop, and that Fun Stop. That's okay. That's a good point, though. Like, Alex, you talked about how the guys have the same kind of strat. This, the example was they had the 133, so their two drop holds were 25 to 26. Is that the Luger Flair match, is that from Baltimore?
No, it's from Florida. This is before he was in Crockett.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's going back a ways.
Yeah.
I always liked Lex Luger as a worker. I just did.
Yeah, I think Luger's underrated. I mean, the Sheets used to fucking rip on him pretty hard, and he's had there's a point in 1988 where he was gonna be really, really good, and then he started to decline after that. So once we get to 93, 94, he's definitely on a decline. But there was a point in time late 87 through 88 where it's he can be something here, and then not so much.
Okay.
So there's a question. There's a question for Johnny B if he was related to the Von Schnapp family.
Well, like I said, the Von Schnapps and the IWL, the three guys had the same strategy. They all had shots. One won the Battle Royal and got the TV belt. The other two took regionals. And mind you, I only do 2 matches per Von Schnapp in the IWL. They had 2 singles matches. So, there you have it. Cowboy Schlitz versus Atomic Shogun versus Wyatt Shatterday in the Santa Fe Street Fight. So there we go. That'll determine the Commissioner champion. And, so I think that's kind of covers our cycle, I think, right? We got everybody covered. Oh, yeah. Events. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, what about the events?
No one said that.
Well, I got one guy who was like, oh, the scores. And I was like, I'll get to him, don't worry. So, the Lethal Lottery trifecta. We have the team of Uncle Randy, Mike Rampage Sanders and Super Dragon advancing.
Super Dragon.
We have Mike Drake, Punk Rock Mike, and Timothy Zastampowski also advancing. Team of Suyu Pai, Double D Christoph, and Flashy Jack Ferdinand advancing. And Dark Danger, Jailbird Smith, and Swamp Sock Jr. advancing. And those 4 teams, the top 2 of those, will then face off in the final. So moving right along, if your team wasn't announced, guess what? You didn't move on. That's not very nice. Sorry, squish that in. All right, so here's going to be the fun part. So the Groundhog Day Best of the Best Series 15 final was Hillbilly Kevin versus Norman the Loon Kefkis. Norman had 466, and Hillbilly Kevin had a 497. So
Hey, 466?
I'm sorry, 496. Sorry.
Jesus Christ. I was like, you need to quit the game, buddy.
496.
You need to quit the game, buddy. It's over. It's a wrap.
No, Norman the Loon had a 496. He lost by 1 point to Hillbilly Kevin, who had a 487. No, he had a 497. So, there's that. All right, so I'm not tired. This is why I did the scores earlier today.
Well,
so
that makes sense.
So, in the Murano Memorial Tag Team Tournament, second round, here it is. In there? Yeah. Okay, so I know one person liked this result. The Astros and IWL defeated the Von Schnapps to advance. The Slices advanced over El Barbero and Rey Scorpion, who were inactive. We had Ron Logan and Ace and Eights in a tie with Lanny Teague and Starlight, but due to tiebreaker, Starlight and Lanny Teague advanced. Sorry. We had Ricky Salt and Robert Pepper inactive, so that gave Artie Fishel and Benny Factor the move on to the next round. And then we had, on the bottom half, we had the Americanos defeating the McFlaherty brothers. We had Derek Stiles and Thomas Banks getting defeated by Vincent Torrio and Johnny Morello. The Grace brothers, Justin and Chase, were defeated by Samoan Death Grip via tiebreaker. And the Nutty Bunnies, 1 and 2, got past Doug McMaster and Gordon Donovan. So the next third round matchups, Samoan Death Grip versus the Nutty Bunnies, Johnny Morello and Vincent Torrio. Sorry, just spelled that right. Versus Buddy Donner and Hank Henkel. The Astros versus the Slices, Lanny Teague and Starlight versus Artie Fishel and Benny Factor. So that's the Murano. Now, I'm not going to read all the results of the Johnny B. Cup as far as like who beat who, but I'll just name the advancing people, and you can figure out the rest. So first, advancing via tiebreaker, Young Dragon DB Lloyd, Flashy Jack Ferdinand's 500, put him in the next round. Oliver Livingston had a 499 to move on to the next round. And then He-Man Hoven lost to Constable George Campbell by 2 points. Sorry. Okay. Next, we had the Battle of the Mikes. Mike Drake, Mike Mason. Mike Drake advanced. We had Johnny Vegas defeating Zeb Martin. We had Squeakums the Clown beating JGC. Punk Rock Mike's 500 was enough to take down Mike Rampage Sanders. We had Matthew Van Slaughter moving on Matthew Van Slaughter. I meant AJ Hammer. I really do hate AJ Hammer.
I don't like Arm & Hammer.
Oh, no. Oh, how is that guy not a wrestler? Oh, no. You know what that means. Nutty Bunny number 3 defeated Mr. Pennynickel. Corporal Punishment got past Reese Rutledge. Dominant Factor Fury got past Swamp Sock Jr. I'm sorry, I had that backwards. Swamp Sock Jr. defeated Dominant Factor Fury. The other Dominant Factor guy was the one with the high score. Leon Sputnik defeated Mark Justice. Duff Dugan lost to Professor Algernon, who had also the 500. Ravishing Rex Chambers. I'm sorry. I'm read tired here. The fastball Louis Ratcliffe defeated Yoka Puddings. Father Arturo Bartolo and Lenny Teague, both at 494s, but Lenny Teague advanced on the tiebreaker. Next bracket. Let's see here. Perry Legal lost to Uncle Rand. Defeated Uncle Randy. I'm screwing this up. I'm really tired. That's why we need to sleep sometimes.
Never.
I was up till 4 last night. I love getting those messages. Why isn't the Iwar up yet? Why haven't I gone to bed? So that was Perry Legal defeating Uncle Randy. 495. No, I had it wrong. I'm sorry. I'm reading this backwards because I'm apparently really tired. I was right the first time. So never mind what I said. But I am
Johnny
tired.
B's really mad at you right now.
I know.
It's like,
Johnny B's
this
like,
guy doesn't know what's going on in life right now.
He doesn't.
Get it
This
together,
guy's-
homie. Get it together.
This guy's working on 3 hours of sleep.
Wow.
Drake Fontaz, 501. Look at that. He took down Future Man. Future Man.
Is he from the future?
Johnny Wrestlefest had a tie with Phil Landers, who both had 497s, and Phil Landers took a tiebreaker. And then we had Monstruck Tanaka's 500 getting past Dr. Steven Seafar. Let's see here. All right, so Dark Danger had a 499. He got by Inspector Henry Taylor. Hate Clown got past Barry Stevens, who picked a bad time to have a terrible cycle. Go me. Igor got defeated by Litigation. We had Death Valley Drifter getting past Ray Del Mundo. And we had, let's see here, War Pig getting past Sinister Sean Brutal. Suyu Pai getting past Mannequin number 1. He had Dominant Factor Nemesis with a 500. That's the guy I was thinking of. He got past Atomic Shogun. We had Mannequin number 2 losing to Greggy Money, who had a 496. So good representation by NWO in this event. Really, really is. I feel like I'm missing some brackets, but, no one's going to notice. I kid. Let me see. Is that everything? It is now. So, there you go. Oh. But, I just want to thank everybody for being active and jumping in. And I should note that our next set of events are going to be starting to load up really quick as far as our summer series. We have Lethal Lottery Tag Tournament. We have the Elite Trios Six-Man Tournament. We have the King of the Ring. So lots going on. And some people have asked about, hey, what about the Rumble in the Bronx? Originally, that was going to be a placeholder for an event I wanted to run. We used to run it in the NWL with Alex's devious monstrosity. And I think we will, because like 3 people have joined now. So I think we'll run it. And people have asked about updates on the Iwar's special, come back to IWA event and the Graveyard League. So to put it in perspective, I've been asked by one player in particular about how things are going. I believe there are 3 people between both events. So your odds of winning a belt are exceptionally high. I would just say focus on your scores, and the chips will fall where they may. And I got to start figuring this all out as far as who gets cameos and whatnot. But I was hoping for a bigger response. We didn't get as big a response as I was hoping for, but that's okay. We gave it a try. So that's all I have for now.
I dig that. I do dig it. I do dig it. Absolutely. All right. If that's everything, so we're gonna wrap up this episode of the Iwar Network Tubecast. So, for Matt Riley, for Scott, for Alex G. For everyone else in the Iwar,
We dig that.
we do dig it. Kind of
We do.
want kind of feel bad you're not gonna be able to watch this the ending of the Flair Luger match, but you can always find it. I believe it's a time of a draw, but not spoiler alert.
Nice.
All right, guys. So have